Okay, guys, so Happy New Year. I want to just take a little bit of time and do a quick analysis on volatility 75. So this is the daily time frame on volatility 75. As you can see, the pair is generally bearish from the whole of last year till now. This is the beginning of the new year. This pair has been very, very, very bearish. So we can see we are having bearish structures all the way up to this all-time low here around here. So we are trading based on the direction or the reaction that buyers and sellers are giving to us. As you all know, the market is just all about reactions from buyers and sellers. So the first thing I want us to look at is this area of resistance, or where we can call it a key level. We can see that around this area, the sellers are consistently making reactions. So around this area here, we can see sellers are consistently making reactions. So from here, we see that price comes down to this zone or area here, point here, and then okay, great. Um, so let's continue. Yeah, sorry for the break. So this level has sellers being active. So we can see there is a first reaction from sellers here, and we can see price comes back around this area again, and there is another reaction. This we can say is like equal higher lows or equal lower highs, and that can still be um, I mean, termed as a lower high, right? A higher low, lower high, higher low, lower high. It's the same thing. Okay. So as we know, in a bearish market, we should be seeing structures like um, a lower low, lower high, something like a lower low, a lower high, a lower low, and this is kind of equal high, and it's the same as is we can still name it as a lower high. So once we have this, the expectation for a bearish market is that we should get a lower low, okay, and then a lower high, a lower low, continue like that. But so the only way we are going to have a change is if there is a distortion in this lower low, lower high. So let's say price comes to this level and then breaks this area. So once this area breaks, we know that price is now giving us a higher high, lower high, and a higher high. So we should expect price to keep going, giving us a lower high and then a higher high, a lower high, and then a higher high, something like that. Okay, so that's the basic structures that we know of markets. But so we are bearish and we are currently having a lower high. So we should be expecting a lower low. Okay. So and the most important lower low that we have um is around this level down here. So we have a range now. We have this level here and we have the lower low, which is here. But we can see an important thing is happening on the daily time frame. From this lower high, price takes down this previous low, which is like a break, okay, which is a break or a continuation of the downtrend. So from here, I can measure this real quick as uh, a lower low, a lower high, or a relative equal highs, and a lower low also here like this. So this is a bearish market. Then we have here like this. Great. So we are still bearish based on what I'm showing. So what do we do now? Now we have this key area and we can see sellers are very active here, reacting here. So we want to see this area giving us a bearish pattern or a bearish structure so that we can be sure that price is going to give us a lower low, a new lower low. Okay, so that's what we should be looking for. We have to look for a reason to be able to join the trade or to be able to go bearish, targeting a lower low. So first, we've been able to get this area here, and then we get this area also here. We get this area here, this area here. Then we made a higher high here. Then price comes back down to make kind of a lower high, because as we can see, this low was taken out by this area. And look at the nature of this candle. This candle is like an engulfing bearish candle, okay, and it closes above below this point, this lower high. So once this happens, we can term this as a break or an indication that price wants to go bearish. Okay, price wants to go bearish. So this is an indication that price wants to go bearish. Price wants to go bearish based on how big this this candle is a game changer. This candle, let me put a line here. Let me make this line yellow, right? Good. So that candle, okay, from the time it's opened to when it closed, this is a game changer candle, game changing candle. Okay, this candle. Good. And exactly if we look at this level here, we can see that buyers are active here. Buyers are very active here. Why? Price get to this level, buyers push it up. Price get to this level, buyers push it up. Now price come back here again, react, buyers take it up. Now we can see that the sellers were able to push price really hard. And then when it gets here again, there was a close, body close, an engulfing candle coming down to this level. But the next candle breaks this bias, which means that anything below this bias here means that the buyers here have been weakened by the sellers engulfing this level, okay, at this point. So anything from this point below means sellers are going to be in charge. So let's see how that plays. Now, price retraces, comes back up. Then we get a bullish momentum close, a bullish candle open and closes above this same level where sellers are deemed to be in control from this point forward or this point down. Now we see a bullish candle, boom, closing. Okay, so which means that sellers are in control from this point below, but from this point, this same point above, buyers are in control. Why? Because of this candle. Okay, this is also a bullish indication. So, what is the meaning of this? In simple terms, the market is telling us that based on this reaction below the bias here, the market is telling us that I want to go more bearish. At the same time, I want to go more bullish based on this bullish close above the same point or the same level. Okay. And so, with that said, this area is going to be a very important key level where above this level we will see buys and below this level we should be expecting sells. But we should get an indication, an intention. We should have a reaction. Okay, we should have, I mean, a pattern showing us either a buy or a sell at this level before we would engage in the market. Okay, so after this bullish indication, price retraces back to the same area. We can see the sellers push price down, and we can see an evening star forming. We see rejections here, and we see an evening star forming. Boom, engulfing. Boom, we break above this last bearish candle and the market went up. It gets up to the top here, the sellers here came back in really strong. They pushed the price down. Boom. But so they push the price down. Boom. So we can say buyers are here because they push price up. Now we see that from this point coming down again, sellers came in with a very real big momentum activity. Okay, sellers came in real big with this momentum activity and they close below the buyers. So this current bearish activity or momentum closing below this bias here is giving us the indication that sellers wants to take control again below this level, and they are likely to fulfill the indication that they first gave here. Okay, so they are likely to fulfill that indication. So now, once we get this indication, like we got this bullish indication here, price had to come back for a pullback or a retest or a correction. Okay, and now we get a bearish indication here again, close below this level. We should expect some kind of pullback or correction, okay, or retracement. So what do we see? We get that indication or intention being reviewed. Buyers price consolidate. The moment price consistently stayed above this same level, let's not forget buyers are at this level, above this level, but below this level, sellers should be in charge. Above price staying above this level, buyers push it up. But the most important thing here is that we don't have a close above here. So there is no indication currently here that the market wants to keep going up higher. Okay, so that is the good news. The good news is we get a failure swing. So after a bearish indication, a bearish break of structure, a bearish close below this key level, price retraces or corrects back up into this supply zone imbalance here, this area here, and fails to swing high, fails to swing high. Once this happens, we should be confident that the market is telling us that it doesn't want to go anything, it doesn't want to go higher above this area soon. Okay, so what I think is that the market wants to fulfill this indication, correction or retracement pullback. We should get the distribution or continuation or kind of reversal from this bullish move. Okay, we should get the move. So I think that there is a more higher likelihood for V75 to come down to this area, okay, to test or to break close, give us a close below this area for the sellers to be in charge from this point and move price down to this area again where price previously came to, okay, when it broke below this level. And in a bearish market, what do we expect? We should expect a lower low. Okay. If it gets here and we don't get a lower low, then we can have another theory to say that if price keeps moving up and goes up, it's likely that when it comes back up here and it's above here, it might now push up and give us a higher high somewhere here. But for now, as price comes below here and stays below this level, with this indication and correction or pullback or failure swing here, it's clear that price might want to reach out to this area. Sellers might want to be in charge here. So what should I do? I want to put here and say sellers. Okay. So though buyers are above this level, below this level, sellers are likely to take charge. Okay. So that is it. So let me scale down to the 8 hour real quick, the 8 hour time frame, and let's see if we can find some more reasons to support this theory. Okay, so let's see right now. Good. So what I like to do is that I have marked this area where sellers are reacting, pushing price down, and we are bearish overall. So what I like to see is price has been pulling up or buying or making going up. I can see we're having something like a higher high, lower high, higher high. Then we got like kind of a break. Okay, this could, if we were to get a new higher high here, we would have called this area like a liquidity grab or something like that, a break below support and going up. But we break the support, we break below this bias here, which is an indication for sellers to be in charge below this area. And we go up, but we get a lower high, failure swing. Then after getting this lower high, we start getting lower low, lower high, lower low, another lower high. Okay. And currently we are seeing an 8 hour candle, two 8 hour candles forming a resistance right now. So we need this. If this 8 hour candle closes bearish, it's likely that price is going to continue pushing down. And I expect this bias here, price to close below this area for the sellers to take charge and continue to push price to this area. Okay. So that's what I'm going to be expecting right now. So has the bullish trend changed? Yes. Okay, we see a break below this area. So the bullish trend has changed. And after the raters, have we changed from bullish to bearish? Yes. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Okay, so we have changed. Now, so what do we need to do now? Okay, what do we need to do? What do we need to do? Two things. Is either we find an internal zone area here to take an early sell, or we wait for price to drop down close below this area once more, and then we can take a sell targeting this area. Okay. But what I also like to see is if price is forming this pattern, trying to drop down after buying, this tells me that I should be able to see a reversal pattern formed. So what reversal pattern I like is the head and the shoulder. So I like to see a head and a shoulder. So I can look for my morning star formation, which is a head and a shoulder pattern, a higher high, a lower high, a higher high, and then we see a break. Okay, we can see a nice neck trend line here. Bang. We see a break, a hit, break. Okay, this area will serve as a diagonal support. We see a break of it. Then we can see price pulls back up to make a right shoulder. Inside the right shoulder, we can see price drops down, retraces back up, breaks structure, pulls back to retest, and it's currently pointing down. So we can see the horizontal support is broken, and we are below the diagonal support. Okay, so I can put a line here below the diagonal support. Boom, we are below the diagonal support. Currently, we are below the diagonal support. Okay, price is below the diagonal support based on the head and the shoulder formation. Okay, so anything below the diagonal support, anything below this trend line is bearish. Anything above it is likely going to be bullish. Okay, so now we are below. Okay, we price is below right now. Um, but we have a main support down here. We need price to be below it in order for this sell to hold. But to have an early entry, we are below the diagonal support, which is up here. We are below, so we can have an early entry up here. And let's see the way price retested that trend line, exactly that diagonal support, exactly. Some people will call it supply zone, yes, but price taps into it nicely and it's trying to make a bearish resistance right now on the 8 hour. On the 4 hour, let's see what is happening. So on the 4 hour, um, okay, so let's see. So um, internally, so if I want to get an early entry, I would be looking to have set to be selling from this area, okay, from this area of supply or trend line here, the support area here. Anything, if it breaks above it, I know price will keep going up a little bit more, but I want to be placing my entry somewhere here. But if price hit here, there are things you should be looking for. I should be looking for rejections and engulfing. So first we see price hitting, getting us rejections, but now we are seeing a proper engulfing, a bearish candle. So it also makes sense to wait to have more confirmation to be able. If you take the sell here, you get a better entry, but for the trade to be sure, it's better to have a more valid confirmation from the higher time frame. If this 8 hour candle, 4 hour candle closes, that's going to be very good for the trade. Okay, because price can still reject back up and move up. Okay, so the confirmation is not 100% right now, but um, okay, so we see price reacting into this area of diagonal support, or let's say resistance here. So if price is reacting at this area, we should scale down to, let's say, 1 hour or 30 minutes, something like that, to see if we can find a bearish structure or a bearish formation. Okay, so we see price makes a higher high, we have a lower high, we have another higher high, yeah, then price drops down. This price drops down, boom, okay, breaks and it makes a small right shoulder and breaks it. Okay, so we see another head and a shoulder pattern forming right now, but we have a break, a break, a break, a break, a break of the head and a shoulder pattern, diagonal, diagonal. Okay, support broken, break, broken. Um, Good. So we have that break right now. Um, what else would I be looking for on the 30 minutes? So 30 minutes, we have a break of structure. Let's say again, higher high, lower high, higher high, boom, lower low. Okay, so in an uptrend, we shouldn't have broken this area. Breaking this area means that price wants to go more lower. So it's either we will have like a breaker, this block area couldn't hold. We see a big bearish close below this area. So we might have a retest of this area or a breaker, a retest of this area, and boom, price should continue dropping down into this, at least this area, and go below this area. Yeah. Okay. So let's see how it's going to play out from the 30-minute standpoint. So I've not taken any entry on this pair yet, but I'm trying to explain. So I might want to sell somewhere here if price drops to retest here, but maybe that should be, and stop loss should be a little bit above this area here, something like that. Um, and then I should target here and target more down, maybe. Because I'm looking to go very wide. I'm looking to go very wide somewhere down here. Okay. This is 1 is to a lot, but I can still take the stop loss to more a little bit up here. Yeah. Yeah, but I will need some kind of a retest here. But I need this current 4 hour candle to close. Okay. So on the 4 hour time frame, yeah, I need a new 4 hour candle to open. This 4 hour candle should close, a new one open, then retest something of that sort. This 4 hour candle must close bearish. Must close bearish. Okay. Must close bearish before I'll be sure to take this trade. But let's see from 1 hour time frame. Let's see what is happening. Good. So we have um, two, three 1 hour candles closing consistently, creating an imbalance or a gap here. So it makes sense for price to retrace back up into this area. How many minutes or hours do I have for the current 4 hour candle to close? I don't know yet, but yeah, I don't know yet. Maybe it's going to take a little bit more time. Maybe 2 hours. Let me see. Okay. Yeah. So this 1 hour candle might want to play into this supply or imbalance here. Imbalance here. And then let's see if price is going to react or reject back down. Um, but this is it. 15 minutes. What is the 15 minutes showing? Okay. So 15 minutes. It's okay. We got a break of this area of bias here. We should be able to use this bias as um, a selling energy to push price down more. So we broke these areas. We can see sellers where we can see sellers, sorry, buyers were here pushing price up. Now we crash those buyers. We have a bearish engulfing candle. We should get a retest of this area of bias, use it as resistance to drop down. Okay, to drop down. So this is what I'm looking at um on V75. Let me know if you have any questions, any suggestions. Let me go back to the 30 minutes time frame because I like using the 30 minutes for monitoring. If we look at the 30 minutes inside of this right shoulder from the main head and the shoulder we got, we can still see a need for a new head and a shoulder here. I have a higher high, a lower high, I have a higher, another higher high, then I have a break, okay, break of this lower high, which is a break of structure change. Then I can see I have price drops down to retest. So I see this, the break got us a neck, diagonal neckline hit, price pulled back up a little, drop down to break structure, break the support. Then we have a pullback, which is the right shoulder. Then from the right shoulder, we have a second break of structure, which is a break of this low here, break. Then we get another pullback. Okay, so this mini head and a shoulder is also giving us a diagonal um, support resistance here, which I can draw a trend line to represent. Let me clean the chart a little bit. And this is also giving us another trend line or support resistance area. And you can see it is that same exact point or place or price where we got the retracement or a pullback coming to retest. Okay, this same area, which means this area is very, 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 very important. We don't need price to trade above this area. We don't need price to trade above this area. Okay, for this whole formation or pattern to hold, price should not go above this area. Okay, so let me even extend the stop loss to this area like this. Yeah, a little bit above here because it can wick in through it and then still drop down. So if we are to take um, a sell, let's say around this point, we should be able to allow the trade to run because the market, I mean, it's not consistent most times. To run, price might want to go up, But if it closes bullish with a big bullish momentum above this area, I'm not going to be holding these cells again. I'm going to wait and see what price might do at another reaction up here. Okay. But until that happens, this is a bearish um, anticipation. Price might want to sell, but if it closes above this trend line and this trend line, I don't think it's going to continue selling. It's going to rather reach out to the top here, somewhere here. Okay. So for now, let's see how it plays. I might want to target price entering somewhere here, risk low, and let me know if you have questions about this whole setup or formation. God bless you and Happy New Year, and then may God bring new wins and more wins this year. Thank you so much. This is V75 Index, and I'll see you at one corner.